Good afternoon, children. Class 7. We are doing lesson number 3. I taught you lesson 2 and I told you that I will send your question answers to you. Okay, so I will send. Okay, now we are doing lesson number 3. The Delhi Sultanate, 1206 to 1526. Okay, we are doing this lesson. So all of you take out your book and look in your book on page number 26. Okay. The Delhi Sultanate set the stage for an interesting phase in history called the later medieval period. Delhi Sultanate जो है सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग हिस्ट्री का पीरियड वो है चैप्टर है और ये जो है लेटर मेडाइवल पीरियड में ही आता है. 5 dynasties ruled during this period: the Slav dynasty, the Khilji dynasty, the Tughlaq dynasty, the Sayyid dynasty, and the Lodi dynasty. Sayyid dynasty and the Lodi dynasty. See this, the Delhi Sultanate. ये records are given here. किस साल में किसका था शासन? It is given here. So all of you look in your book. Okay, and we are doing next on page number 27. So you look in that sources for the Sultanate period. There is no dearth of sources for the Delhi Sultanate. Inscriptions, coins, and monuments provide a lot of information about this period. The Turk-Arab traditions of recording events made court chronicles the most valuable sources of information. Comprehensive and detailed accounts of court proceedings have been provided by Ziauddin Barani, Shams A. Siraz, or Afif Minhas A. Siraz, or Ibn Battuta and Marco Polo, who visited the subcontinent during this period. Their travelers provide valuable information. Persian records of this age are very important. Especially valuable are the histories, Tariq singular or Tawariq plural, which are the historical records written as Persian. Now see, multiple choice questions are given here. First is, what is the popular Turco-Arab tradition you read about in this lesson? A. Recording of events in a kingdom. B. Celebrating Raksha Bandhan. And C. None of these. Our correct answer is A. Recording of events in a kingdom. So all of you take right on A. Now second question, which city gained importance in the later medieval period? Jaipur, Calcutta, and C is Delhi. So our correct answer is C, Delhi. Delhi is the correct answer. The slave dynasty. The rules of this dynasty were called slaves or Mamluk sultans. Mamluk in Arabic means owned. The early sultans of this dynasty were slaves, but because of their intelligence and hard work, they rose to power and position. ये स्लेव डायनेसिटी क्यों कहलाती है? क्योंकि इनके जो शासक थे, रूलर्स थे, वो पहले स्लेव थे, दास थे, और उन्होंने अपने इंटेलिजेंस से और अपने तरीके से वो शासन प्राप्त किया, इसलिए ये स्लेव डायनेसिटी कहलाती है. Many sultans of the slave dynasty were highly educated. और बहुत सारे स्लेव क्या थे? यहाँ के जो सुल्तान्स थे वो बहुत ज़्यादा हाईली एजुकेटेड थे. They were experts in war tactics. They were also well aware about the strategies of war, control of army. Qutbuddin Aibak, 1206 to 1210 तक. Muhammad Ghori had left his slave Qutbuddin in charge of the territories he had conquered in India. But as destined, Muhammad Ghori was killed on his way back home. आपको पता है जब हमने पिछला लेसन पढ़ा था तो उसमें पढ़ा था कि मोहम्मद गोरी यहाँ पर आया था और उसने बहुत आक्रमण किए, और जब वापस जा रहा था तो वो अपने उसमें रास्ते में ही मारा गया था। तो उसमें क्या हुआ कि उसने अपना कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक स्लेव था उसको यहाँ पर इंचार्ज बना के छोड़ दिया था, और फिर उसने एज ए रिजल्ट कुतुबुद्दीन हु वाज गोरीज वाइसराय established his control and marched into दिल्ली। उसने अपना शासन यहाँ पर दिल्ली में स्थापित कर लिया। Delhi was conquered and the famous Killa Rai Pithora, which was a beautiful fort, became the new Sultan's home. With this, Qutbuddin became the founder of the slave or Mumluk dynasty, and this new kingdom is described in history as the Delhi Sultanate. Qutbuddin was very generous and kind-hearted. He was honored with the title of Lakh Baksh or giver of lakhs. He received this title because he gave a lot of wealth in charity. Samsuddin Iltutmish. Qutbuddin was succeeded by Iltutmish. Iltutmish faced many problems but dealt with them strongly. He crushed revolts, protected and strengthened the boundaries, and established a strong and consolidated sultanate. He sent expeditions against the rebel Rajputs at Gwalior, Ranthambore, Bayana, and Jalore. Rajput rulers of Ujjain and Ranthambore were defeated by him. He also recovered Gwalior and Bayana from them. In other words, he completed the task of Qutbuddin Aibak and therefore is regarded as the actual founder of the Delhi Sultanate. Iltutmish had many sons, but he did not consider any of them as his successor. He made his daughter Razia the Sultan of Delhi. उसका कोई भी सन इस लायक नहीं उसने समझा कि वो वहाँ का राजा बन सके, सम्राट बन सके, तो उसने अपनी बेटी रजिया को सम्राज्ञी बना दिया। The Sultan of Delhi. She is popularly known as Razia Sultan in medieval history. और वो रजिया सुल्तान के नाम से जानी गई। This decision of Iltutmish was not liked by the conservative nobles who had become very powerful. After the death of Iltutmish, they placed Ruknuddin Firoz Shah, one of the sons of Iltutmish, on the throne. Ruknuddin Firoz Shah did not have the qualities of a king, क्योंकि वो तो इल्तुतमिश भी जानते थे कि इसमें कोई क्वालिटी नहीं है, पर उन्होंने फिर भी जो उसके नोबल मैन थे उन्होंने उनको बना दिया, सम्राट बना दिया। He was extremely careless and fun-living. He did not pay attention to the matters of the Sultanate and neglected the administration. People demanded an able and caring administrator, so they made Razia the ruler of the Sultanate. और वो तो फन लविंग था, तो उसने कोई ध्यान एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की तरफ नहीं दिया, कोई काम नहीं करता था, तो इसने जो पीपल वहाँ के थे वो नाराज हुए और वो अच्छा एबल रूलर चाहते थे, इसीलिए रजिया को सुल्तान बनाया गया। रजिया सुल्तान। Minhaj-e-Shiraz wrote about Razia. Sultan Razia was a great monarch, wise, just, generous, a dispenser of justice, leader of the armies, protector of her subjects, but born of the wrong gender. So, in the estimation of men, all her virtues were worthless. Razia was a dynamic ruler. She was a progressive thinker. So she threw off her female attire and put on a coat and a cape. She rode elephants like males, hunted and led the army. She was successful in establishing law and order in her kingdom. Razia's reign was short and full of problems. The nobles hated her. They wanted powers in their hands, The 40 nobles could not tolerate a woman's rule. 40 nobles थे, उन्होंने उसका रजिया का शासनकाल नहीं स्वीकार किया और they killed her in a battle, और उन्होंने खुद ही एक बैटल में उसे मार दिया just outside Delhi. Razia died like a brave soldier. She lies in a grave at Turkmen Gate in Delhi. Now, period from 1240 to 1266. Razia's death created fresh problems. The period between 1240 to 1266 saw many political disturbances. Many kings came to the throne. Nasiruddin Mahmud, another son of Iltutmish, ruled from 1246 to 1266 with the support of the nobles, but he was totally incapable and a mere puppet. During Nasiruddin's reign, Balbal controlled the administration despite opposition from other nobles. Now Balban, Ghiyasuddin Balban. In 1266, Balban came to power. He was an able noble and proved to be the most powerful ruler of the slave dynasty. सबसे ज़्यादा शक्तिशाली सुल्तान ये बने थे slave dynasty के. As a sultan, Balban reorganized and strengthened the army. He led many campaigns against the local rulers and defeated them. Balban also successfully guarded the March western borders against Mongol raids. Balban wanted the people to look up to the Sultan and regard him in high esteem. For this, he introduced the Persian customs of Sajdah and Pehod or Jamin Bose. Balban was criticized for introducing these customs. According to common people, such customs were reserved for God and therefore were un-Islamic. When Balban died, the Turkish rule had been firmly established in Delhi, the Ganga, Yamuna, Doab, and eastern Rajasthan. Balban's successors were, however, weak. Once again, the power of nobility prevailed. This time, the Khilji nobles captured the throne of Delhi in 1290. बलबन के बाद में ही ये सब खत्म हो गया और खिलजी डायनेसिटी स्टार्ट हो गई. Qualities were becoming a sultan. The sultan was supposed to have some unique qualities. He had to be a strong military general with ambition and expensive policies. For this, he had to be well versed in the skills of warfare and military designs. Besides, the rules laid down for succession or the conventions followed, only a strong individual who gained support from nobles, military, and ulemas was successful as a sultan. Razia was able but was killed due to treacherous designs of the nobles who could not tolerate a woman's rule. But Balban rose to power by controlling all these factors. At the time of succession, there was general unrest with the motive to occupy the throne. During the period of unrest and public uproar, the army played a key role in controlling the people and crushing the rebellion. They checked the invasions and attacks. After Balban, Jalaluddin, who was an army officer, founded a new dynasty of the Khiljis. Turk-e-Firoz Shahi. The history of Firoz Shah is the work of Ziauddin Barani that gives a detailed description of Jalaluddin and the rulers who followed him. Now question and answers are given here, so see them. First question, which of the following is true about Qutbuddin Aibak, founder of the slave or Mamluk dynasty? Now second, called Lakh Baksh. Now A answer is correct and B. A and B, C, both A and B, both are correct. Now who was the most powerful ruler of the slave dynasty? B answer, Balban. A. Rajia Sultan, B. Balban, C. Muhammadud Ghori. Now B. Balban answer is correct. So you do these question answers in your book. Okay, children. Uh, the day after tomorrow I will take your class. Goodbye. Read the lesson. हाँ कोई बात नहीं, खत्म हो गया. चलो.